Hey, welcome back to Etsy and Ecom with the Professional Mom. This is Rebecca Boland, your host slash self-proclaimed professional mom, who is dropping in with a quick, short bonus podcast episode, pulling in a little bit of the ecom aspects that I have been promising. For those of you interested in only Etsy selling and not interested in learning about other platforms, this may not be the episode for you right now, but some of you may be very interested to know about other ways to use your newfound online business skills to make diversified income streams, and often with the assets you have already been making and designing for Etsy if you are a digital seller. So I would highly advise you tune in for this short episode to hear a quick debrief and some honest income report highlights for one of my other favorite ventures. One of my favorite ways to make passive income right now is through Amazon KDP, low content book publishing. And if you are not familiar with that at all, KDP is called Kindle Direct Publishing, and low content book publishing is exactly as it sounds. It is not writing a book, authoring a book, putting all this high value into a book. It is truly a low content, perhaps lined journal, often coloring pages, puzzle books, anything of the like, often with repeated pages over and over again. Again, like a lined journal. So there is this huge opportunity in Amazon KDP publishing, where you are self-publishing these books that immediately get put onto Amazon's shelf. And especially as an Etsy digital seller, there are a lot of assets I design once for Etsy that I can now copy and paste onto the Amazon platform. And what's really cool is that these books are delivered as hard copy products to the customer. I can definitely plan to make entire episodes of Amazon KDP tied in with this podcast if you are interested. So any of you listening to this who are curious to hear more about this, please send me a DM. I'll link my Instagram at the end of the podcast. But I really want to hear about what you are curious to learn more about and what platforms you'd like to grow on outside of just Etsy if I do continue to expand and kind of broaden our horizons to all of these opportunities. However, one of my other little side hobbies has been to slowly build a YouTube presence. And while they are not videos of me just yet because I am still living in my mom messy bun on the daily, they are highly transparent, engaging, behind the scenes income report videos for what I have made month by month through Amazon KDP. So even if you are an Etsy seller not ready to expand or cross over anywhere else, you might have a little bit of that curiosity bug to see what kind of money other people are making and in what ways. And if that's the case, I definitely invite you to check out my YouTube channel, which can be found at Rebecca Boland Strategy. It is the same as my Instagram name. And while I know all of these names should be the same like Etsy and Ecom, I promise you they are all at Rebecca Boland Strategy. It just doesn't tie in with my podcast name. But if you look for me at Rebecca Boland Strategy, you can find those YouTube videos, and I am freshly launching a belated November and December income report for 24. And of course, I am now catching back up and showing you what I made in January. Again, the cool thing is these are not books that I have written. They are not novels. They are not creative stories. They are coloring books. They are journals. They are low content books that I get to post for free on Amazon. No 20-cent listing fee or anything else. And Amazon pays me after they take their cut. So when I get my royalties, that is all I owe to Amazon if I'm not paying separately for any ad spend, which you definitely don't have to do. Again, this episode is definitely not intended to go into the weeds on Amazon KDP, but I did want to drop in a little bit of information about one of the other platforms I talk about loving and being highly interested in, and gauge feedback on whether we should talk more about that and how we can cross over our Etsy assets onto KDP and vice versa. I am going to link these accounts into the podcast description below. And again, if you haven't subscribed to this podcast, please do. I love that you're here. I love to share my journey and meet others along a similar journey and see how we can help each other along the way. And then jump over to YouTube and check out my channel, check out my income reports, say hello there, and let me know if you are liking any of those videos and the information in them as well. As always, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for joining me, and I look forward to catching up with you in the next episode. Until then, goodbye.